How's it going, everyone? It is Tuesday, May 21st, 2024. Let's get into the picks from yesterday. So I gave two picks. The first was, or actually three picks. The first was AMAT long as a day trade. So we had this setup here breaking out of this earnings compression, breaking through this high plus trend line. That was a D1 setup. You can see how the stock was looking pretty nice for most of the day, but the market started to tank a little bit. So you had your opportunity to take this trade somewhere here on AMAT at 11.15. If you missed that entry, then you would have probably not taken the trade because the market was going down. The stock was still doing pretty well, but we didn't quite have the tailwind to enter trades. So AMAT is a no trade on my book. I didn't get this entry. I missed it, so let this one go. Okay, now on the bearish pick, I gave DLTR yesterday, and DLTR was a very nice winner. So we found the stock because it was grinding down, very nice, steady, organized volume, while the market was moving up and while the market was flattening out. So if we look at the market yesterday, you can ignore some of the AV WAPs. I'm going to get to that in just a little second. We get this kind of this double top from the all-time high at 1140. We get a little bit of follow through. We have a bearish cross here, and then we also have another bearish cross pending later in the day at 120. So if we look at 1140 and 120, so here is 1140. That's an okay entry point, a little extended, comes back over here. And we look at 120. Yeah, 120 stock losing a little bit of relative weakness, but picks it up a little bit from the market. I would say how the main entry point I see on this stock would be here at 1110 stock-wise. And then also at 12.15, after the stock has tested its 8 EMA, you have this green solo that gets slapped down, and then we continue the trend downwards. You have plenty of cushion, doesn't really go against you. Even though it gains some relative strength, you have some market tailwind in your favor. You have a pretty weak trend, so you know that the stock might regain its footing, which it did over here at the end of the day. So I didn't end up taking DLTR because I had some work to do, but this is the entry point at 12.15, and I'd ride it down probably until it starts to kind of waffle out here at the end of the day. Maybe get out around 3.05, somewhere here. So you're looking at a pretty nice $1 move in that stock. Nice win on DLTR. I called out a swing trade yesterday, which was Apple. And I had a condition on the swing trade, which was I wanted to see the market close near its all-time high, and that didn't happen. Apple had a nice D1, some consistent price action after earnings, steadily grinding higher, and was a decent little continuation in that move yesterday. I like the relative strength while the market was going back down. Apple was holding the gains and pretty much holding VWAP on some fairly organized buying and selling. So when we got any sort of little move up today, rallied up and made a new high. So if you took Apple, you could have made money, but I didn't take Apple because I didn't like how the market ended yesterday. It was a bit of a bearish hammer. It confirmed some resistance at the current all-time high, and I don't think we're going to break that resistance today. So Apple, again, another no trade, but it was a good setup. Let's get into the market today. Fundamentally, again, nothing has really changed recently. Technically, also nothing has changed recently as well. We're still a 1 on both fronts long term. Short term, I was a 2 bullish yesterday. I thought we had an opportunity to continue up higher. But now I'm still back to more of a 1. I'm cautiously bullish. We're preserving these gains of this move, which is nice, but the market is waiting for NVIDIA earnings. And those earnings have the potential to make a new all-time high or, kind of send us back down below. That's going to be the catalyst for this week. There's also FOMC minutes, which is going to come out intraday, so that might cause a little bit of fireworks, but I don't think it's going to change the overall macro story. So short term, cautiously bullish. I view us at closer to the end of this upcycle than the beginning. The price action on the way up has been okay. It got a little bit better over here. The volume is quite low. We broke out this new all-time high and we didn't fall back immediately, which was nice. But I don't want to enter any swing longs right now. I wish I had entered them here or here, right? Those are kind of the entry points that we want. In terms of swing trading game plan, I'm keeping it pretty light right now, staying mostly in cash. I'm not putting on any new swing trades, and I'm monitoring the current swing trades. We're going to get to GE in a second. In terms of opportunities, I see 2 opportunities. So if NVIDIA does blow through this area tomorrow, we could take some very short-term swing scalps. So that's what I was recommending earlier in the year, where we get excellent entry points on stocks and then we sell them into strength. I think those types of trades work out great at the end of the move, where we don't really want to wait for the stock to move against us. We just want to take our profits and get back on the sidelines. Now, if NVIDIA comes back and pulls back over here, we're going to gauge the second pullback, and that might set us up for another round of swing trades. I think either put credit spreads or some in-the-money calls, and we can slowly add to those positions, similar like to what we did here. But we want to gauge the strength of this dip, this pullback. How long is it? How deep is it? How organized is it? Okay, so current positions. I want to talk about this before I get into the M5 chart. Yesterday, I took the loss on GE. And the reason is simply we hit this resistance point again on SPY. We have NVIDIA earnings, and GE has been very, very weak. Really hasn't been able to get off the deck. So not crazy about GE. Took the loss, and I can spend that time and spend that capital on other trades that are have more potential. So GE is going to be an L. We're going to mark that in the log, and we're going to take that out of the trade. So we have no open positions right now. We're all in cash, and I think this is a good spot to be before these major statements. We want to be cautious. We don't have a bunch of positions that we're worrying about. We want to be a little bit, okay, I just have my alerts ready. I'm only going to take a position if it's really, 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 really compelling. And if it's not compelling, I'm not going to take it. So let's go into the M5 chart for today. Let's see what the price action is telling us, what opportunities are here. So yesterday we had a pretty weak bearish reversal, which was very similar to what we had on the 16th. Strong move up higher, some weak price action, and then we kind of get these chonky moves down where we get this single long red candle. Doesn't really get eaten away, but then we don't really get any follow through afterwards. We just kind of compress and do nothing for the rest of the day. So that's what we got on Monday as well. Although it looked slightly different. We got this very long compression at the high of the day. It was a little bit too long because we couldn't get anything going, versus a very short compression that's hugging it. Chonky move down, and then it sort of dies on the vine. I also have put on some of these AView on the M5 chart just to see how they interact. I don't know if I'm going to be using them as an analysis yet, but I just anchored them onto relative highs and relative lows. You can see here how this is the AView from the high of yesterday, and we respected this level, and we're kind of respecting this level today. It's providing some resistance to the market. Similarly, here's the AVU from the high on the 16th. That has provided some market support, and it has flatlined over here. So you can see that coming into play. This AVU was from the low of 2 days ago, and that provided some support for the next day, and it has sort of matched this other AVU from the prior all-time high. This is a very old AVU that I put in from the low of the 15th after the gap up. Chopped around over here, and you can see how it provided actually some support at this opening candle. So watching that over here, I don't know if it's going to be part of the analysis. The interesting thing that of note is that our usual technical tools tend to line up with these AVU. Low of the day, right, providing some support resistance that lines up with AVU. This opening low of the day here also lines up. This AVU matches this downward sloping trend line. So our current technical tools, in terms of the price points, do match up with the AVU quite well. So again, I don't know how useful these tools will be. I'm going to delete the series for now just so we can view the chart a little bit more clearly. I will keep this one on for the time being. Okay, so we had this weak bearish reversal yesterday. Pretty choppy. Some opportunity for some later day trading shorts. Today we had a small gap down. Market filled in the gap pretty quickly, rallied up, and was trying to challenge this downward sloping trend line, the VWAP, the halfway point of this red candle, whatever you want to call it. Right? There is all of these tools are basically saying, hey, this is a technical level. Buyers and sellers will be active at this point. So we liked early in the morning how this bull cycle produced at 10:10. We got this nice bullish divergence earlier in the day, but then 1OP wasn't actually able to get any liftoff. We broke through here. Bearish engulfing candle, red candle, red candle. Okay, sellers are still in control right now. So in terms of day trading opportunities, I'm not really looking to go gonzo on the day. Don't want to jump in a whole bunch of day trades. I think this is a pretty LPTE environment. Or I guess I don't have to say environment. This is an LPTE. And there's going to be probably a few late day opportunities that set up. So let's see if we can scan for them. So I'm going to favor the short side here on these LPTE days. There are usually I like stocks that are compressing and then they make a fresh move. So we're going to look at eBay. I've edited these ones for the D1. Has a decent D1 chart, but some resistance. Really nice steady grinder up on this chart. Same thing with FSLR. If it can break through its support resistance, that we can get something going. Take a look at some of the other ones here. AA, not too bad. SU compressing after this big run, it could be dead. QCOM holding the gains here as the market is coming back down. I took a nice one on QCOM yesterday. I think this still has some potential today. We just have to wait for the market to find some support. IBM was parabolic. Now it's kind of compressing. AZN pulling back a little bit. There could be a nice opportunity here. Kava hasn't been doing too much. Apple, we called that yesterday, also not doing too much. Lilly made an early move and then it sort of died. Let's check out some of these other stocks here. NVAX was nice earlier. MSTR not doing too much. mRNA not doing too much. XPEV looked nice, gave back its gains. UNP. Okay, UNP could be a pretty nice one. I'm liking what I'm seeing here. So we got this low of the day here. Long red candle, compressing, digesting all the gains, especially after a gap down. We have certainly some room to the next level here. Any sort of D1 level. Yeah, maybe some, not a ton of volume on this candle. Certainly some volume on this candle. That's why we got stopped over here. Interesting. So Yeah, I think UNP short could be a really nice setup. So here's what I want to see. We got this downward pressure on the stock, and it is going to challenge its low of the day. If we break through the low of the day on a red candle that closes on its low, then we can take the short. So I'll show a day trading setup here, just so we can see a nice example of maybe how this looks like. Okay. So this is a pretty good example on match. I'm going to zoom in a little bit so we can see. We had a smaller gap down. We're compressing. We're getting some pressure. Same lows, but lower highs. And then we get the breakthrough on this key red bar through the low of the day. That's where we enter. If it produces quickly, then we can add on that follow through. Here's another example. Let me go to WHR. Great example. This was earlier in the day. We got this long key red bar, immediate follow through. And when the trend started to stall out, we could take the gains on this position. Illumina was a flatter open, so this has a really big gap down. These big gap downs take more time to digest the news, but when we get the digestion, we get this breakdown over here, you can get the move on the follow through. So UNP has a very similar setup. That's going to be my pick of the day. UNP short day trade on this compression break, if that sets up. Let's take a look at a few more things. A couple more trades, see if anything pans out on the long side or the short side here. UNP is a pretty nice setup. U is decent grinder down. Let me check forward. Yeah, forward is super nice. Yeah, I'd wait for a pullback here on forward. Probably not gonna be my pick of the day. I feel better about UNP, but on a little pullback to the 8 EMA, this stock can do really, really well. Okay, see if I can give any long pick. FSLR, very choppy, but it has a nice D1 breakout. Getting close to this resistance level here. I think you could set up for pretty well for a day trade. So yeah, if FSLR is hugging the high of the day and breaks out of compression while the market pulls back down, we get a bullish 1OP cross, then that would probably be my trade of the day. Qualcomm is also pretty nice. There's some decent long picks. There's just not a lot of great market picks, so you really have to snipe your entry. Yeah, I'm gonna go with FSLR. Heavy volume, okay-ish price action. Don't chase at these highs. There's so many wicks on this kind of candle. Like set a price somewhere in the middle of the candle, and you can get a nice move on the pop-up. So FSLR long will be my pick of the day. And like I said, we're going to wait for this move to finish off. If it holds the high of the day, kind of compresses for a little bit, then we can enter in some longs, and there may be some resistance here at around 209, so keep that in mind. And probably take some gains into strength. So those are our two picks. We're going to add these to our YouTube picks. FSLR and UNP. Thanks for watching, everyone. Keep it light. We're going to take a look at what happens for these picks tomorrow.